Hey there YouTube, I'm Jack. This is Raw Tropical Living, and today we're going to talk about how to stay satisfied on a raw food diet. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, I'd appreciate if you'd go hit that subscribe button and come back and check out some more of my content. Then be sure you click on the little bell and check send notifications so you'll stay subscribed to the channel. This is the one thing I hear over and over and over. We're almost 2 months gone into the year. A lot of new people doing the raw food diet. A lot of people just eating a plant-based diet. And let me just say before I really get started on this, that pretty much all of my videos, I interchange raw food diet, plant-based diet, cooked raw, blah, 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 blah. Same principles. If you are fully raw, apply them to the fully raw version. If you're not fully raw, apply them to that. But it's not the thought process can be applied to everything. The easiest way, I'll sum it all up before I even get started. The easiest thing I can say to you is the cleaner you eat, the more you can eat, and you're going to stay satisfied. You got to eat large amounts of food to keep yourself full on this lifestyle, and the thing is the cleaner you eat, the more you can eat. Where people are tripping themselves up is with the fat. And I want to make it very, very, very clear that I'm not anti-fat. I think I'm kind of in the middle when it comes to people talking about fat, because you got people out there that just eat fat by the gobs. And then you got the people out there that are absolutely afraid of it. Like, I ate a quarter of an avocado. I ain't gonna never eat a quarter of a damn avocado. That's not even worth cutting the thing for. So I'm not one of those fanatics about fat. In fact, I break rules from time to time. I like my nice cream with a tablespoon or two of almond butter. So, but in general, if you're scarfing down all that fat, you don't get much. Fat does not fill you up that much, especially oil. People are always talking about oil. When you're eating clean, when you're eating like fruit, when you're eating greens, when you're eating whole plant-based foods, it's pretty much endless. That's why, listen, I've always just done this channel just kind of like, listen, I'm not the smartest person in the world. I can't sit here and explain every science thing to you, but this is what I do. This is how I eat. This is how I've done it for a number of years. And this is what I've found out through testing myself. And, if you've watched my channel before, you've probably heard me talk about, how I've had a problem at times keeping weight on. And that's because I don't eat a lot of garbage. I don't eat a lot of processed foods, a lot of fat, a lot of, things like that. So that means I have to be eating all the time, because our body requires a multitude of micronutrients, vitamins and minerals. That's why junk food's never going to fill you up, because it's not real food. It's empty. It's like eating cardboard. I mean, that kind of stuff that you can just eat over and over and over, more and more and more, and you never seem to get full. Another thing too, I think what it is people don't know how to prepare their own food. You've got to, let me just say for the 100,000th time, you've got to learn how to prepare food for yourself that you enjoy eating. You're not going to get by on this lifestyle, and you're damn sure not going to be satisfied on this lifestyle just like, putting stuff in your mouth that's not all that tasty. I see so many beginners that are struggling, and they're just like, there's always this kind of, okay, do you say something or you don't say something? Because you want to be encouraging to new people, but sometimes I'll see some newbie that post what they're eating, and I'm like, did you really enjoy that? I mean, that's just like you've got an apple on there, and you've got an avocado on there, and you've got some nuts, and it's just not put together well. Or they'll have some half-ass recipe that they kind of tried to put together that just doesn't work. Get yourself some good food. Get yourself some good food. Invest a little bit. The one place that I really encourage people, I've seen coming up on 8 years that I've been doing this, I see people spend their money all over the place. You'll spend these people to do a coaching session with you. You'll spend for their programs and their guru bullshit, but they won't spend money on a recipe book. Every time I see that talk all the time in various groups, and I use Melissa's books all the time, but there's books are pretty much more or less, I don't think there's a huge difference in prices. And people, okay, let's just pick a random number out of there. Let's say you can get a recipe book for $25. And I said, oh, well, I'm not going to get that. Well, if it's a recipe book you really like, you've looked at it, and it's recipes that you're going to do, we're talking about $25 to feed yourself. And I know for a fact the 2 books of Melissa's that I have are more than worth it. I eat out of this, it just happens to be right behind me because it's always in the kitchen. I eat out of this plant-based dips and dressings all the time. And I don't make a lot of the recipes in there, so it's not like you have to have, you don't have to know, don't stop asking everybody for a recipe of everything. Just find yourself a good solid base of, say, 7, 8, 10 things that you really like, and that's all you really need. Think about it. When I ate the standard American diet, I wasn't jumping around. I mean, I wasn't, eating something different every single night. So find those recipes that you like. And like I say, I don't know. I swear by Melissa's recipes. They may not be for you. The Raw Advantage has good recipes, as do a lot of others. That's not the point. It's just that you need to find food that's going to fill you up. And the cleaner, the better. And hey, don't get me wrong. I love the fruit. I love fruit. You probably know if you've watched me for any amount of time, but you got to have those greens. I've really found a next level of feeling satisfied since I've really been paying attention to the greens. And I've really been paying attention to my nutrients more over this last year or so. Now, don't get me wrong. I felt great when I was in Costa Rica. Sometimes I was damn near flying. But I look back and I think, okay, I probably was a little heavy on the fruit there. There was just times where I would just let it go. Now, I did, I go back and look at my videos. I did see the importance of greens, and I had greens, and I had green smoothies, and I had salads. But I wasn't making it a point to get that kind of stuff every day. The legumes, I'm going to tell you, whether you get them cooked or whether you sprout them, I really, I listened to some of Dr. Greger's stuff, and actually learning this more from the cooked vegans, that the legumes are just an important part of our diet. So I would say especially the last maybe 6 months or so with I sprout a lot. I sprout lentils most of the time just because they're easy to sprout. But I do sprout broccoli, I do sprout other things. But the lentils, the legumes, really good. I find myself eating sprouts like about 3, 4, 5 days out of the week. And usually one day out of the week I do cook some beans. I'll either cook some black beans, or I'll cook some lentils, or I'll cook some split green peas. But I do really believe in the nutrition of those legumes. And as I go, and you got to remember, I'm getting older, so technically I'm supposed to start declining a little bit and feeling a little bit less. But in certain areas, I just kind of feel myself continuing to feel better and better. There really are no tricks or special methods that are going to get you there. You have to retrain your brain. You just have to understand that large amounts are not bad, depending on what they are, and you just have to eat. Get ahead of your appetite. You can eat as much as you want. Listen, like today, tell me if you did what I did today, that's going to keep you satisfied for quite a while, even if you don't do things perfectly the rest of the day. Have nice cream, have these big smoothies, get a large volume of good food in your stomach without putting a lot of oil in there, without an avocado in there, without this and that. But once again, just because somebody will not understand, I'm not telling you not to eat fat. We need healthy amounts of fat, but you can mow the good stuff down all day, every day. You can eat as much nice cream as you want. I'm telling you, and I'm going to end with this because I've told you before, and you can either believe me or not. I can just eat all the time. I can eat all the time. In fact, I have to eat all the time, and it gets to be a pain in the ass sometimes because I don't feel like eating every day. So, just take a little example from that. And I don't know, it just kind of like clicked for me from the beginning. Like in my big dumb monkey brain, I was like, I can eat as much fruit as I want. All these bananas, nice cream, this, smoothies, oh my God. So fill yourself up with plenty of good stuff. And you won't even be thinking about the garbage. The garbage comes in, and you start eating things that are suspect when you don't stay full. Anytime you find yourself getting hungry, go eat something that is good for you, and don't try to sit there and hold out and say it'll pass. Eat something good so you don't end up eating something bad. Anyhow, just my 2 cents worth. Hope you guys enjoyed this one today. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you again maybe tomorrow. Peace.